Hello to all of my favorite first grade mathematicians. Today, we are going to be solving some number stories. I know you're cooped up in your house. I know you haven't been able to go all the places that you normally go. So today, we're going to pretend to go to a store together to buy some exciting things. There are two posters to use for this lesson. They are on Seesaw, and you can also print them out. And you also, before we start the video, you want to have those with you or on your screen. You might want to get some paper and pencil so that you can solve some number stories with me. So this video is going to help us review the strategies we use and the diagrams from everyday math that we use in first grade to solve number stories. These items all have a price, so if you also want to use some play money or real money, that's a great thing to also get out. We will do some other math lessons coming up about money and coins, but if you'd like to add that to this lesson, that's totally fine too. You can do it with cents or you can do it with actual coins, which is fine. So now that we're ready to get started, I'm going to have us solve one problem together, and then we're going to talk about different strategies to use. So this math problem says Marcus wants to buy a colored pencil for 29 cents. Remember that C with a line through it is a cent sign, and a crayon for 6 cents. So if I look at the poster, I notice that the colored pencil price is 29 cents. And I also notice that the crayon price is 6 cents. So if you want to pause the video and solve this problem before I solve it with you, that's fine. Or you can keep the video going and watch me solve this math problem on the screen. So there's a bunch of different strategies and a bunch of different ways to solve all of the problems that we'll be doing today, and you can just pick the ones that you feel most comfortable with or that you remember from when we were in first grade together. I'm going to solve this problem by counting on, because I noticed that this is a bigger number and this is a smaller number. So I'm going to start with 29 cents. And I'm going to count 6 more. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So my answer would be 35, and I need to put the cent sign, or I can put 35 cents. Great job, mathematicians. Let's talk about some strategies before we solve some more problems. The strategy I just used was counting on. You can count on by writing a number and just writing other numbers next to it, continuing on. Or you could also count on by using a number grid. So if I was going to do this math problem with 29 cents with a number grid, I'd want to find this number 29 on my number grid to get me started. So this is the number grid I used for the number grid puzzle, so it has some highlighter on it, but I can still use it and I don't have to print another one or waste more paper. So I'm going to find where the 20s are. Oh, look, they're highlighted. And I'm going to go to 29, and then I'm going to count 6 more numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did get the answer correct. The answer would be 35. So you can count on, and you can use a number grid. So those are both great strategies to try. Now, another strategy we used in first grade was drawing base 10 rods and cubes. You probably don't have base 10 blocks at your house. I don't have any at my house. So instead of getting things from our classroom, we're just going to draw what we don't have with us. So I'm going to draw rods for 10s. They're just lines. And then for cubes, you could do dots. And sometimes friends like to do actual little squares for cubes. It's up to you. So to draw 29, I would do 2 10s, and then I would do 9 1s. And one of the things that we like to do in room 4, and I know some of the other teachers do too, is put the cubes in groups of 5 so that you can figure out when you have 10 or how to make 10 in an easier way. So this is 29 cents for the first item, and then I need 6 more for the second item. Now, do I have enough to make 10 to exchange cubes for a rod? I sure do. I'm going to put these 5 and these 5 together, and I'm going to make that another 10. And then I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to leave these two the same and just put them down here. So I should have 3 10s and 5 1s. And your teacher in first grade might draw differently than we've been doing it in room 4. I know sometimes we like to cross out the ones. There's a lot of different ways to draw this and just show your thinking. Whatever makes sense to you is great with your teacher. We can also use coins or draw coins. So I would need 29 cents and 35, and I would need 29 cents, sorry guys, and 6 cents. Well, I have 6 cents, but I actually don't have 29. So I could draw the other coins that I'm missing, or I can try to find the coins around my house or with my play or real money. Instead of using real coins, I'm just going to draw all of mine. So I'm going to draw 29 cents, and you can draw it in 10s and 1s, like dimes and pennies. You can use quarters or nickels if you're comfortable. So figure out what works for you, and that's a great way to do it. I like to do dimes and pennies because it's a lot like 10s and 1s, so that's what I'm going to do in this picture. So I would do 2 dimes, and then I would do 9 pennies, and I put a P inside of those pennies so I know which coin they are. And then for 6 cents, I could do a nickel, and then I could do another penny. So it's up to you if you want to try the strategy. We haven't done a lot of coins in first grade. We will be doing more soon, but this is just something that I'm offering to friends who feel comfortable with coins and making change and adding change together. So that's also a choice that you could use. Now, another thing that we've been doing a lot in first grade is using different diagrams. So you might remember the part total diagram, the change to more diagram, and the quantity difference diagram. These are also great diagrams to use when you're solving number stories. Instead of solving this problem again and again and again about Marcus and the colored pencil and the crayon, I have some new number stories for us to solve with other items that are for sale at the school store, and we're going to use some of the diagrams to do that and some of the strategies that we just reviewed to do that also. So here we go. Omar bought an eraser for 17 cents. I went ahead and wrote the prices on here so that we don't have to keep looking at the poster every time. And he also bought stickers for 25 cents. So we need to figure out how much Omar spent, and we could do it in a lot of the same ways that we figured out how Marcus spent money. So we could do 10s and 1s. We could solve it by counting on, or we could also do part total. So if we look back at this diagram, that's the part total diagram. The total goes at the top and the parts go on the bottom. So I would put 17 cents here, and I would put 25 cents here, and then we're looking for the total. I can also write a number model. 17 plus 25 equals, and this is what we're going to solve for. Or remember the turnaround rule. I could also put my numbers in whichever order I would like to put them in. Oops. Excellent, mathematicians. So I could use a number grid to count on. I could also draw 10s and 1s, or I could use a part total diagram to solve this. Go ahead and decide which way you would like to do it, and you can try to solve this number story, and then I'm going to tell you the answer after you unpause the video. All right, mathematicians, the answer to this problem is 42 cents. Excellent work. Alrighty, now we have another problem, and there's 2 questions here. Diego has 20 cents. His mom gives him 60 more cents. How many cents does he have now? And what is one item he could buy with all of his money? So one thing that he can afford with all of the cents that he has together. So again, This is a great one for counting on, especially using your number grid, because you're counting by tens. So you're counting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 more. So this might be a great problem where you want to get your number grid out and solve this problem. So you would start at 20 and then you would count 60 more. That would be a great strategy for this one. I could also do, 2 plus 6 equals 8. So 2 tens plus 6 tens equals 8 tens. Go ahead and see if you can figure out what the answer to the top part is, and then when we unpause the video, I'll tell you the answer, and we'll work on the second part. Excellent job, mathematicians. The answer to this problem is 80 cents. Nice job solving that. Now, what one item could he buy with all of his money? I'm going to have to look at these shopping pages again and see what he could buy with all of his money. As I look at these prices, he could afford all of these things and all of these. So the most expensive thing that he could buy with all of his money would be the box of crayons. I also realized that I forgot to use one of our diagrams, the change to more or change to less diagram. So I'm also going to show you that one in case that was one of the strategies that you decided to use. So as we look back at these diagrams, start and end and change, we have a number that goes right here. So that diagram would look like this. 20 cents, 60 cents changes to more, and then you would have your question mark. So I could write 20 plus 60 equals question mark, or I could write 60 plus 20 equals question mark, since I know that turnaround rule as well. Great job. And then down here, we're going to write box of crayons. That's a little tricky. Okay, our last problem that we're going to solve together. And again, I wrote the prices on here so that you don't have to look at this page every time if that's helpful for you. Destiny is trying to buy the ball, 50 cents, or the scissors, 30 cents. How much more does the ball cost than the scissors? If you'd like to solve this problem before Miss Owens, you can pause the video, and then when you're ready, we can talk about how to solve it with some different strategies. You could use the idea of counting back or counting up. You could write a number model, and there might be another diagram that could help you to solve this math problem. So I'm going to let you take a look on your own, and then we're going to do it together. Okay, mathematicians, this is another great one for the number grid. So we have 30 cents and 50 cents. So I'm going to come to my number, my hundreds chart, and I'm going to circle 30 and I'm going to circle 50. And I know I have some other things circled on here, so I might just kind of connect these two. I could count up from 30 to 50. So I'm counting 10, 20. I could count down also, or count back 10, 20. And I'm noticing that both times that I do that, I'm counting 20. So I'm thinking that it's 20 cents. You could also do number models. You could also do some different diagrams. You could also do quantity difference. So I could say 50 minus 30 equals 20. I could also say 30 plus 20 equals 50. I also could do 50 minus not sure equals 30 cents. If you would like to do the quantity difference diagram or the comparison diagram, it would have the larger number, the smaller number, and the difference. Let's look at this one more time. Quantity difference. So I would put my 50 here and my 30 here, and this is where my question mark would go. And don't forget, when you write your answer, write it with the cent sign, or you can write the word cents next to it. So now it's your turn. This is what you are going to do today. You are going to go shopping at the store. You're going to look at the poster and you're going to choose 3 items to buy. Write the item, write the price. Write the item, write the price for each thing that you purchase. Then you're going to figure out how much you've paid for all of your items together. You're welcome to use a diagram. You're welcome to draw tens and ones. You're welcome to use real coins or to draw your coins. And then you're going to write your answer at the bottom of the page. You can write cents or you can write the cent sign. This is where your answer goes. All of this white space is where you're going to show your thinking and show your work, just like we did on all of these pages. All of this thinking that we've done, all of these ideas and these number models and these diagrams that we've drawn, that's what your teachers want to see in this white space when you put your sheet on Seesaw. So it's great if you explain it to a friend. It's great if you want to use real coins to count, but make sure that you also draw your thinking right here so that we can see how you did this. If you would like to do an extra activity when this is done, you are welcome to look at these posters and make up your own stories, just like the stories that I told you about Marcus and Diego and these other kiddos who are all shopping at the school store. And you can come up with some different number stories to solve with family at home, or you're welcome to write a number story from the school store and post it on Seesaw for your teacher to see. I know you guys are doing such a nice job. Thank you for all of your hard work in math. I hope you have fun with these fancy items at the school store today, and I can't wait to see your answers. Bye, guys.